Alright, what's up all my social people? We're doing a different type of video today. Yeah, I know we say that a lot, but this one's real different. It's real different. It's, I wouldn't say serious, but yeah, we just having a talk. We just having a dialogue. I don't know what we're gonna name this yet. We might think of a name during the video. We'll see. We'll see what happens. As my co-host who's here right now likes to say, Coyote.
What's up?
Essentially, we're gonna talk about a lot of our failures or shortcomings in life, and just be open with y'all, and just talk about how we've overcome a lot of things, how we've improved upon a lot of things that we still struggle with, things that we used to struggle with more. And like I said, just be open and vulnerable. So I think that's a big part of what we're trying to do here with Intersocial, is just get men to be more open about the troubles that they're dealing with in life, and just get people to understand what guys go through, because we often don't talk about it enough, at least not in a public platform. What's been on your mind recently, Kade? What you been dwelling on? What you been stressing over? What's the word?
Man, a lot has been on my mind actually. Like as of late, a lot, and it just like infinity different thoughts like on my mind all the time. Like because it's like I'm studying right now for my MCAT exam that's in January, and it's like I'm reading all these terms, I'm reading all these pages, I'm way short, I'm way behind in terms of like what I need to have studied, and like it just I keep thinking of like what like is there going to be a positive outcome in this whole thing. Like I'm studying, I'm doing all the work, and I'm also my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, like obviously this channel itself, like we're putting in all the work. I'm studying, I'm doing everything I can to try to like move my life to progress forward. But it's like is any of this gonna really like turn out like the rate that I want it to? Like a lot of the time it's like in life, it's been like things are always coming out later in life. Like we just spoke of like a couple hours ago, like even me trying new experiences, like all this stuff is coming later in life, whereas people my age has already tried this like 10 years before or like 5 years before. Like everything's seeming to go at like a year delay. Like, oh, I have to take this class at a year delay. I have to qualify for this at a year delay. I have to apply for this at a year delay. Like everything seems to come at like a standstill or like a halt when I'm trying to get progress to that next stage in like life. And it's like, it's frustrating because like I hope to think that like the hard work that I'm putting in to get to my next level is like gonna go. It's not easy to get into medical school. It's not easy to make it on YouTube. Like those are two paths I want to both pursue and both do, but at the same time it's like it's very tough to make it out in both of those fields. So it's like 1,000 different thoughts, and like obviously seeing Virgil unfortunately passing away, his influence on like clothing and like different stuff like that, Louis Vuitton, like, and other people just passing away like that. It's like, damn, like we're working like this tirelessly. It's like work where we can potentially be, but at the same time it's like, damn, like life can just go like that. Like I want to accomplish something. Like I'm only 22, but like death isn't something that is a foreign concept. Like it's like we have to keep on working, but it's like death and it's inevitable. It's like there's so many different thoughts, and like obviously like personal stuff that I want to work on personality wise in terms of like how I carry out myself and different stuff like that. I just like a lot of thoughts in my mind, like how to get to my next level and like what is the next step. And just that like over the past like year with the pandemic and like everything going on and stuff like that, it feels like I can't even take that next step forward. Or if I want to take this next step forward with my channel, the next 2 videos don't show the evidence of that hard work that I put in, and it's just like 2 steps back. Like that's basically how it feels. It feels like halted, like I can't take that next step, because with the pandemic it's like I've just been at home studying and like working and stuff like that, but not much change in like scenery, not much incremental change in my channel and stuff like that. So it just has me thinking.
I don't think I've been thinking as much as you have, because that was a lot. That was like, well, maybe I have, just like my issues aren't as scattered, I should put it that way. In terms of like weight loss, well, I've talked about it on the channel, but I don't know how many of y'all are new or how many people are even gonna watch this video for that matter. But I don't know exactly, but I used to weigh over 300 pounds, and now I'm around 220, and I've been stagnant for like, I don't know, almost a year now, and it's been like not frustrating. Like I know what I need to do. I just need to be more disciplined with my eating habits. Like I still exercise regularly, and I like do intermittent fasting, but I just am not disciplined with my eating habits. I need to eat more healthy, but a big part of that challenge is just a mental thing. Like I just give in to cravings a lot of times, and I just eat food that I shouldn't be eating. I think my like health and getting in shape is like the biggest, the most difficult thing that I've been working on like in my life, and also like the most rewarding so far by far. So yeah, my goal, and that's for a lot of reasons, just regular life, just the way clothes fit, energy levels, just feeling good about myself, confidence wise. And I'm trying to, like, I have a personal channel where I play basketball, so I'm trying to play for a college team next year, which is why I must be in shape by the time I start school next year, because I want to try out for a team. And to get to that point, I have to be in shape.
Like if your friends were like, Chris, I'm disappointed with your shape right now. You need to be 200 or less, or I don't even want to talk to you. Like that. You need friends like that. You need friends who are going to put you in your place and be like, okay, like he's pushing me to do this. He believes in me. Okay, I'm going to do it. Like that's another thing. Like when people put expectations on me, it's like, hell no. Like I'm not letting you down. Like there's no chance I'm letting you down. Like when you put that on yourself, it's like, of course, like your word matters more than other people. But at the same time, it's like, again, external reinforcement is like nice. Like that gets you going. That pushes you to do what you want to do. And like just watching some YouTube video and like people who've made it and different stuff like that, it motivates you for the second, but then like the time you have to wake up again at like 6 a.m. like you do, or 5 a.m. and get up like that funny stuff. Like it kind of hard to maintain that motivation.
So I just want to like just make it clear that this is not a pity party. This is not like, oh, woe is me. We're saying this to let you guys know that like we know that there are a lot of other guys. Maybe it's not YouTube, maybe it's not weight loss, but whatever you're struggling with, maybe you're trying to get better at a sport, maybe you're tired of studying for school, maybe you're tired of, I don't know, trying to develop some skill, maybe you want to become, I don't know, a programmer, and like you're not understanding how the coding works. It could be anything, but the point is that you're not alone in terms of your struggle to find the motivation to keep fighting, your struggle to push through the times where there's a setback or where you're not making the progress at the rate that you want to. Just letting you know that you're not alone in that regard. The only reason why we keep doing this, the only reason why we keep making content, well, two big reasons. One, we have a message that we want to preach, and like we want to reach out to an audience and help other people. But two, it sucks and it's discouraging when we aren't making the progress that we want to make. But the only way to guarantee failure is to quit. That's the only way to guarantee failure. As long as we keep working at it, like that's not a guarantee of success by any means, but that's a guarantee for a chance. The only way to guarantee failure is to quit. So that's not something that is in the cards for us. Me being overweight, that led to a lot of social issues, social anxiety, self-confidence issues, body image issues, and all of that in aggregate led to me being extremely socially awkward. Like I said, having social anxiety, being afraid of crowds, like avoiding people in general, and that led to a lack of ability to communicate with others. That made me struggle in a lot of social situations. It made things a lot more awkward for me than they should have been. And then when it came to girls, like I was nervous to talk to girls in general, and then when I did talk to girls, when I finally did have the few ounces of courage mustered up to approach a girl, it like typically didn't end well because they didn't find me attractive. And especially in middle school and elementary school, when girls are a lot more when they're just immature and they don't like have any empathy really, and they don't understand the impact that their words can have on people. And especially at a young age, when you're just completely indoctrinated with negative feedback, and like on your appearance, and also just like negative experiences, like it all compounds and adds up. So I don't want to say I was depressed. Maybe I was. I don't know. I was never clinically diagnosed though, so I don't take things like that lightly. So I don't want to self-diagnose. But a lot of the times, I'm gonna be honest, I was like crying myself to sleep at night in middle school because of like bullying and self-confidence issues, not being able to talk to girls, especially like when you grew up in an environment like me. Like I grew up in Compton, and like all the kids, like that's what's promoted, you know, all the things that aren't necessarily conducive to a good future, but that's what's glorified, is like going out, partying, talking to girls, all that type of stuff. I didn't do any of that, and so I was an outcast again because of that, and because I didn't have the confidence to do a lot of those things. And I'm still working on that. I'm still developing my confidence now and my ability to communicate with others and just be friendly and sociable. So yeah, a lot of the stuff I'm learning way later in life than most people. Like, I've barely gotten to the point now, like I said, I think I said this in a previous video, but within the last year, I've barely gotten to the point now where I could just have a normal conversation with a girl and I'm not nervous at all. It's like not awkward. And that's not to say I can flirt or like I got game or whatever, because I don't. I don't. I'm still not there yet. But just like I said, to like just be around a girl my age and just talk to her, have a normal conversation, not be nervous, not like filter myself, not overthink. I've barely gotten to that point now, and I'm 22. So yeah, there's a silver lining here, because yeah, I dealt with all the bullying and I dealt with the social rejection and having to deal with anxiety and all that. But especially when it comes to my specific scenario, growing up around a lot of kids that were in gangs or fighting or partying, doing drugs at an early age, just doing a lot of things that they're not supposed to be doing and that aren't conducive to a bright future. Because I was a social outcast and I didn't socialize or associate myself with the vast majority of those kids, you know what I'm saying, my life ended up a lot better than theirs. A lot of them, like, you know, they have no real aspirations. They don't know what they want to do with their lives. They got kids already at an early age. They have some BS job.
Social anxiety was like a huge thing for me, like growing up, and like obviously being like a pastor's kid also like kind of made that worse, in a sense that where it's like you're always being watched, you're always being set as an example for other kids. Like heck, like we couldn't get certain haircuts growing up solely because they said like it would be quote unquote bad influence for other kids. So I always had to have a buzz cut all the times. Or sometimes my hair could grow like a 1 millimeter before they shave it off again. Like they always want to be a good example for other kids in the church, like not doing other stuff like that, no dating. Like that was you couldn't mention boyfriend or girlfriend in like the house. That was taboo. Like always thinking so much about what people were thinking. I got bad to a point where it's like, even like in my own like church, like where basically at the end of the month they'll call people born in the month of so come up and like we'll cut the cake for you guys and just we'll sing happy birthday for you guys. Like it gets to a point where it's like just doing that and going up in front of people, like I just freaking freeze up and like almost have a panic attack because I was in front of those people. And it's like, and my parents would make fun of it too, like because like they're just like African. My parents are African, like they're from Africa, like. And Africa is completely different than the US. Like they did not take mental health or anything like that seriously. So it's like, yeah, they'd make fun of me for just like, oh, like they're like, basically anytime it was like my month, birth year, like every year, they'd be like, oh, make sure you don't freeze up when you stand in front of people. And it's like, I know in their mind, like it was like basically no harm taken from that. But in my mind, it was like, damn, like, why are you really making fun of this? Like, I'm really going through this right now. Like, even for like awards ceremony, they call principals list, they call honor roll, I'd go up there and like, I just stand in front of people. Like, even that would just like freeze me up. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just frozen in front of people. And it's like, again, it's like, it's not limited to this, but it's like, I don't know what caused it specifically. But like, again, like not being comfortable with my skin was like a huge part of it. Like, obviously, like I was extremely underweight at some points in my life. Like I'm better now, definitely was, but I was kind of underweight like at a lot of points in my life. And like I was very skinny, where like people make jokes about my weight, how skinny was, Grim Reaper, skeleton, like different stuff like that. Until college, I never asked a girl out. Like Chris knows this. Like I never bothered asking a single girl out because I was way too scared of like what they're gonna say or what they're gonna think. Oh, if I send them a DM, are gonna screenshot it, post it in their group chat with their friends and like laugh at me there and like act like nothing happened when they see me. Like, dude, you can say I'm way overthinking things, but I'm really not. Like, it's like I'm just seeing things the way they were when I was like at that point in my life when I was in middle school, high school, etc., etc. And it's like, yeah, it's like I wanted basically. It's like I'm better at being a background character than trying to act like basically show my true self and stuff like that. And like being shunned and like thrown as like, oh, the weirdo guy that no one likes. Like I'd rather be like the weirdo guy that's just a background character than like the weirdo guy that like no one likes and is just like beside himself, like yada yada yada. So
alright, y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for part 1 of, I guess we'll just call this open mic, where yeah, we're just, you know, being open with y'all, just being vulnerable, just talking about things that are going on in our life and things that I think a lot of guys, especially guys around our age, could relate to. Open mic part 1. That's gonna wrap it up for this one. Appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.